Good evening. Welcome back to another exciting edition of So Into Bourbon. I'm Glenn. This is Charlie, as always. Charlie, tell them about the great bottle on the bar tonight.
Tonight, we have an offering from Neeley Family Distillery in Sparta, Kentucky. This is the Jett Brothers, finished in new toasted French oak. That's what it is.
Good job.
Hey, thank you.
Okay, Neeley Family, Jett Brothers, finished in new toasted French oak.
For how long?
25 months. That's a long time.
It's unheard of,
right?
You know what? That's almost 2 years. That's a long time, people. 25 months is a long time.
Well, just to give you an idea, so the Jett Brothers brand or label from Neeley Family, they're finished. They're all finished.
This is their finished release.
And they've released a bunch of different ones. So just let me give some examples of some of the past bottles that they've
Okay, while you're
released.
talking, I'm showing people.
They've got an apricot brandy finish. It's a wheated bourbon finish for 8 months. They've got a French cognac finish. It's a high rye finish for 7 months. A Portuguese Madeira finish. It's a high rye finish for 7 months. Do you see a trend here?
Yes.
We're talking 8 months, 7
Yeah.
months. Nothing for 25 months.
Nothing for 25
So this is hyper finished.
And this is a French oak and a toasted French oak at that.
a new toasted
and
French
new.
oak, yes.
So let's.
And I believe this is a single barrel. It doesn't say it anywhere on the bottle, but I saw an Instagram post from Neeley Brothers or Neeley Family that said this is a single barrel. So I'm not saying that. They said it. I'm just
We don't say it. A lot of people do.
I don't
We
say
don't.
it.
We don't do it. Everybody else does. Very excited for this. Toasted, so hot right now. If you can't kick over a rock without finding a toasted release, but for good measure. So really nice color.
Nice deep amber
Yep,
color.
nice deep amber, and oh
Little
my
red tint.
goodness, is it oily? 109.2 proof, I believe, is the proof on this.
109.2 proof. I don't know the exact age. Once again, I believe Sean told me that 5+ years, 5 years minimum on these.
And is this their normal mash bill?
This, I don't know. I don't know the mash
So we don't
bill on
know.
this. I do not.
So we have had 2 products from them. One is a 67% corn, 25% rye, and 8% malted barley. The other was a 70, 20, and something else.
Yeah.
So we don't know. It's
Yeah,
probably
I
one
wasn't
of
able to find a mash bill on this one.
those. Shall we nose? Can we nose?
Sure.
Can
I'm
I nose
still looking
it?
at
Okay,
this.
you
Yeah.
look. It's
Okay.
gripping
Yeah, let's
television.
nose.
I will. So this is the third. I don't know in
This
what
is
order
the
you're
third, yes.
watching. This is the third Neeley. They all have the same nose, a similar nose in the same family.
I know what you're talking about. There is a note that comes through on all 3 of them, and it's a corn note.
But not in a bad way. And we were just talking about this
Right.
off camera. When you hear bourbon people say, "Oh, corn," everybody's like, "Oh gosh." Guys, it's corn liquor. That's what bourbon is. So there's going to be some corn. There should be some corn. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. So
I feel like I'm getting a little bit more ethanol on this one.
fresh pop. We just popped it.
Yeah, they're all fresh pops.
Everything's a fresh pop when we do it. Jett Brothers.
Popping fresh stuff.
It is definitely more proofy on the nose. Like there is more ethanol. The first 2 that we had, the Hidden Barn and the Single Barrel, not really a lot of ethanol to speak of it. I'm getting quite a bit,
I'm getting a little bit of a wine note on this one.
which is very unusual. You know what we should do?
We should try it.
Jett
Cheers.
Brothers.
Now
Holy cotton gin.
tell me that tastes the same as the other.
No, it doesn't taste the same. That is like as soon as it hits your tongue, like you're like starting to taste. Boy, that is. And we talked about this in the last episode. The cool thing about craft distilleries, and Neeley Family Distillery in Sparta, Kentucky, is a craft distillery. They distill triple pot distilled. That's how they distill. You're not going to go in there and find a big column still. Column still is a relatively modern invention to get nice uniformity out of the distillate. Pot still is really pre-prohibition style. And what comes from that is a style of whiskey that is pre-prohibition and has a little funk to it. This is no exception.
It's definitely got some funk to it. It's very layered. There's a lot of layers of flavor there. Before I talk any more about the palate on this, there's something else that's pretty unique about Neeley Family Distillery, and they ferment in cypress vats.
Oh.
So a lot of your major distillers that you go to, you're
Stainless
looking
steel.
at big stainless steel vats.
Or plastic.
They use
yeah.
cypress. Maker's Mark comes to mind. I don't know if it's cypress, but they
use wood.
Yeah, they use wood.
That's cool. Cypress, that's
Yeah.
an interesting wood choice in Kentucky.
Sorry.
No.
That came to me really quickly.
That's an
and
excellent
just wanted
point.
to get that out there before I
And
forget
again, that builds on the whole thing of why does whiskey taste different? A lot of whiskey doesn't taste different. It's distilled in the same style, using the same yeast strain or pretty close to it. And you get a craft distillery that's doing everything different, from yeast strain to distilling, their distillate pots and pot stills and vatting and all that. We really need to talk about this palate.
You like how I threw you off? And
Yeah,
got
you totally
so I could taste some more
Yep.
and think about it.
And I'm going back to taste too.
It's
I really like this. I really like this. This is.
I'm really struggling to come up with.
And I think
descriptors.
I think I know why.
Why? Tell me. So I'm stalling still.
Yes. This has. It is such a tease. From the moment it hits your tongue, it's like, oh, is it going to be sweet or spicy? Is that vanilla? Is that oak?
And it
Or
kinda
is that
just
rye?
stops.
And it just stops.
Yeah.
But you're like pop, 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 pop. All these different flavors that it just gives you a little bit of it, and you're left with. It has a really nice mouthfeel. It gives you a nice little kind of tingle, but it's
a lot
so
of dark fruits.
nuanced.
Yeah.
It's so nuanced. It's a really interesting bottle.
I'm getting dark fruit. I'm getting. So this is what's really sticking out to me. And I know everybody's like, "Oh, give us some flavor notes," and blah blah blah.
It's good.
I'm going to tell you about the finish, which is really odd to me. It's almost like a reverse finish. So usually on the finish, everything's in the back and the sides of my tongue. At least that's how finishes usually hit me.
I do not disagree with anything you're
it's
about
like
to
the
say.
sides of my tongue are numb.
Yeah.
And everything's in the middle.
Yeah, and kind of the finish kind of tingles from the back middle to the front. I really like
That's
this.
really
It's a really unique MSRP on this bottle.
$129.
Oh my goodness gracious! Where else are you going to find a 25-month aged French oak toasted? Probably nowhere. Very cool bottle, awesome to have. And this goes back to craft distilleries. While you're waiting in line and you're registering for these lotteries and you're paying secondary to get an everyday release that comes in a tube from Sazerac or whatever, not that there's anything wrong with that, there are really unique bourbons out there. And this is one of them. This is very cool.
As you're talking, I'm getting a toasted marshmallow note.
You know, I am not getting a ton of sweetness on this one. I get a lot of kind of oaky char, and the sweetness is all on the front, and it just gives you enough, and then it disappears. But I really, really like this one. One of the things that Dixon Dedman told us is he's big on mouth feel, and more importantly, just feel. How does it make you feel? This one makes me feel happy. I like this one because it is unique.
And you're a big French oak fan.
I like a finished whiskey. I like double oaks. I like French oak. This is very cool. This is a very unique. If you're expecting kind of those sweet vanilla kind of flavors, more uniform, I guess, or consistent, that's not this. It's a little different and a little funky, but this is very. God, I just love a craft distillery so much.
Yeah.
I really like this bottle. Well worth the money. Love it.
It's really layered. I wish I had a better palate. I wish I could pull some more descriptors for you. But I'm struggling with it.
No,
It's really
This is
good.
a challenging
really
bottle. I
interesting.
really think this is a challenging bottle. I think this will be a polarizing bottle. These are one of those bottles that is the most fun to have if you're sharing with friends, you're doing a bottle share, you're having people over to your house, because I really feel like everyone is going to have a different experience, and none of those experiences are going to be meh. It may be disdain, like, oh God, that's terrible, or it may be like, oh, that's funky and awesome, and that's the best thing I've had. Really cool bottle.
Yeah, absolutely. Cannot disagree. I feel like everything we've tried from Neeley Family has been very interesting.
Only interesting bourbons are interesting. Catchphrase trademark, not to be used without the written consent of so in the bourbon industry.
Charlie, why don't you tell the good folks? Wait, do we want to talk about the Jett Brothers? Are people wondering? I feel like I can hear people shouting at me saying, "What Jett Brothers? Who are the Jett Brothers?"
Did they
Do we want to tell them who the Jett Brothers are?
I mean, I feel like you have to now.
Benny and the Jetts.
Yep, it's Elton John's cousin, Ben Jett, who settled
I think
Kentucky.
they're related to the Jacksons, right?
Yep,
They
Benny the
grew up
Jet.
right next to the Jacksons.
Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
And the Doobies.
And now we
I
can't
think they were
tell
friends with the Doobies.
the Doobie Jets.
Doobie Brothers.
No, we're not going to, but
we're not.
it's all on the Neeley Family website.
Go check out the website.
Check out their website. A lot of good info, a lot of their releases, everything that they do, what makes them different, what makes them craft, and why you should check them out.
Absolutely.
Tell the people what to do for us.
Well, first of all, go back and watch our original episode when we visited the Neeley Family Distillery. At least me and my wife did. Also, follow us on socials. So Into Bourbon on Facebook and Instagram. Whiskey Realtor on TikTok. What else do they need to do, Charlie?
Got to keep
I
those.
threw them off. I threw them off.
I'm not thrown off. You have to keep those wallets loose.
And your bone holes tight.
Good night, everybody.
Peace out.
Do it for the Jett Brothers.
Good evening. Welcome back to another. Are you okay?
Yep. Just trying to throw you off.
Try it again.
That's where we cut. Tonight we have another offering from Neeley Family Distillery in Sparta, Kentucky. It is their Jett Brothers.
Is that all you're going to tell them?
I thought I did good, but
I've got the easy part. I say the same thing every time. Dingo?
dingo. Okay.
Dango.
Dingo ate my baby. Shouldn't joke about that. I saw a dingo. Bit me on the leg, it did. No, not. Benny the Jet Rodriguez is from
I
Sandlot.
don't care.
Have you not seen Sandlot? You were probably 40 when that movie came out.
Yep. Close to it. Go ahead. So, no worries. I got the importance.
And they say we don't prepare.
We.
You had the bottles this time because you have a spending addiction.
About to be out on the street in a cardboard box.
Sweet. Be great content. You can still
I
edit.
can see the title. I bought so much bourbon, now I'm living in a cardboard box. Why I quit drinking. Neeley Family, episode 3.
Jett Brothers.
3, 2, 1.